And let's dive in a little bit more about ownership, because we all know that when you sign to a label, they're going to start taking a little bit of them masters.
Right, or all of your masters, basically. They're not going to let you retain them.
Right. So as an independent, especially if you're one of those independent artists who is producing, writing, performing, and distributing their own music, like if you're one of those artists, you own all your shit.
Right.
So is it even attractive to share any of that with someone?
Right.
Do you feel like that's fair? Because for some artists who are literally putting all of their blood and sweat and tears into putting their music out and producing their music and writing their music, because I know a lot of people who I've run across and people who are close friends of ours that are literally making every single aspect of their music with little to no help.
Yeah.
So signing to a label and then cutting them such a large percentage of what it is that they're doing, and them taking a piece of that ownership that they worked hard to build without them, like, that's not attractive to them.
But then it just depends on your situation, because the flip side of that is you hold on to everything, and then nothing from nothing is nothing. So then, okay, cool. Okay, cool. You hold on to it, and you in your 20s or in your 30s or whatever, and like you got some time ahead of you. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden you pushing 40, 50. And your career is over, and then you start thinking, what if? Like, what if I took that deal 20 years ago? Who would I be? Where would I be? Did I make the right decision? Probably not, because now I'm driving a 22-year-old Honda. Damn. And I work at the corporate office at Walmart. And I got 3 kids who need to go through college, and I can't afford it. And like, you start thinking about those things. So I mean, it just depends.
I just gotta say that these scenarios that you paint are always so detailed. Like, as our listeners get accustomed, like, this is how he is all the time. Like,
I'm a deep thinker. Like, you feel me? Like, when I'm
like, he thinks of it all.
Like when I'm sitting here, and when somebody says something to me, like, I'm boop, 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 like, it's all over the place, and it happens so fast. Like, I could think of like somebody's whole life in like 10 seconds. Like, you feel me? But that's a whole nother situation right there. Lord. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, but like I'm saying, like, all that goes into making a good decision. Mm-hmm. And it has to be a well-rounded decision. So maybe taking that L at the front end really makes sense. Or maybe it's not even an L. Maybe it just makes sense. Maybe you're okay with a label owning your first album, because you're like, you want to know what? I don't have $200,000. I probably will never see $200,000 at a given time.
Right.
Maybe you'll see it over a 5-year period, but you won't see it in a day, in a given time frame that would actually make a difference. So you let the label put in the bread, you give them the first album, and then from there you make sure you have a good entertainment attorney where he works into your contract a very, very small but feasible escape route. So that way, when you want to get out by your sophomore or junior album, you have that opportunity to do it, and that's just planning ahead and thinking ahead. So now it looks like an L, but in reality, it probably was the best decision of your life.
Right. And I think another good point you brought up is an entertainment attorney. A lot of artists don't even...
Shout out Barry.
Barry Chase. Come on, Chase Lawyers.
Located in Miami if y'all want to check him out.
A lot of artists don't even think about that aspect, the legal aspect of what it is that they're doing. And I think that if you're going to remain independent, you need an entertainment attorney. If you're going to sign a deal, you need an entertainment attorney.
And for the love of everything holy, why would you use the label's entertainment attorney?
Why do people do that?
If the label says to you, oh, don't worry about it. We got an attorney that's going to look over everything, and he's fair. No, he's not fair. And he's not looking out for you. He's looking out for the label. You tweaking. Get your own attorney. I don't care if you can't afford the attorney. Sign something that makes sense at the time and get yourself an attorney.
Mm-hmm. And so many artists fall prey to that.
Yeah.
One, because it sounds appealing, because it's coming from the label.
Right.
And labels, we have been brainwashed to believe that everything that they do, everything that they say is gold.
Right.
And so if a major label comes to you and says, hey, I want to offer you this deal, and here's the contract, you want to look over it, you have X amount of days to get back to us, and if you need an attorney, we can offer you that too. Like, that just sounds really appealing to an artist who doesn't know what the hell they're doing. But
then you gotta drop back down to reality.
Yes,
bro. If you are selling something to someone, it doesn't matter what it is. If you have something to sell to someone, are you thinking inside of the back of your head, well, I just want to give him the best deal possible? Heck no. Are you thinking inside the back of your head, I'm trying to get as much money out of this as possible? And the broski falls for the okie doke when I hit him with the woo wop the bam.
Yep.
And if he pays it, he pays it. And the same thing for the labels. Like, at the end of the day, they're trying to get the most out of you. They're trying to bleed you dry. And it's nothing personal.
Yep.
It's just business. And if your business is poor where you fall for it, then your fault.